All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the Drekker Brewing Company, and they are out of Fargo, North Dakota, and this is their Chonk, the Spumoni variant. So they're calling this one a Sundae Sour that comes in at 7.2% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed, time of review. And this can is just under 6 months old. So I'm the dude that goes to the beer store and sees that there are a bunch of Drekker Freshies, and I buy the almost 6-month-old can. Why? Well, while all the new beers from them sounded quite interesting and probably delicious, I've been having my eye on this one for many months now. I've had numerous friends tell me that this is delicious. They love the pistachio character in here. I've seen so many of my friends check this in on Untapped from basically March until July, and all of them pretty much love this. And here's the thing. I love pistachios. I love pistachio ice cream, pistachio pudding. Spumoni's delicious because it has pistachios in it. So when I saw this, I was like, I gotta get it. I got to. So I did. So sorry to all the freshies from Drekker, but we're going to be reviewing this one today. So I love that they put all the ingredients here. So for malt, they're using Palturo, wheat and carafoam, hops, Magnum and Hallertauer Blanc, flora, aka yeast, lactobacillus culture, house ale yeast. And then I love, and I've said this almost in every Drekker review, but I love that they call the adjuncts gimmicks because let's be fair, these beers are gimmicky. And it says gimmicks, cherry, chocolate ice cream, pistachios, and lactose. Attention, contains a significant amount of fruit, so please keep cold at all times. Separation is normal. Give the can a gentle roll or two before opening. Well, I kept this one upside down in my fridge, but you know what? We'll listen to Drekker. Oh, look at that. Gentle roll. Gentle roll. That's one. That's one. That's two. Should be good. This glass should be able to handle most of this beer, so hopefully it doesn't explode on me. I'd assume this was kept cold the vast majority of the time because this was in the cooler at a local beer store that I love, and I didn't see it last time I went there, so I don't know if they just got it in or I didn't look hard enough. I don't know what the case is. Oh. Just don't want to, go overboard here pouring it. Let's see, is it gonna go foam over? Am I gonna have to save it? Am I have to cheat? Bet you bad. Yeah, everyone's right. Everyone is fucking right, and I'm wrong. But I'm not wrong here because I don't know what I'd be wrong about, but I just tasted the foam, and let me tell you, it tastes delicious. Anyway, that doesn't really look like a beer because to some people it's not, and who might argue? But yeah, that has a really deep purple color, almost magenta-like. About a 2.5 finger of this ice cream-esque looking, almost looks like black. I like black raspberry ice cream. It's delicious. And that kind of looks like the ice cream. The head looks like black raspberry ice cream. That's what it looks like to me. Super frothy looking. Yeah, it looks fucking kind of what you expect with this. There's gonna be pectin and everything on the side. Fruit puree. I get it. Yeah. So believe it or not, the chocolate is the thing that's punching my nostrils right now. Sweet, decadent chocolate. When I say chocolate ice cream, you could, but I'd say more like fudgy, maybe like a Hershey syrup, but like an authentic kind of, artisan Hershey syrup. Then I get a nice, very sweet black cherry. I love cherries. Black cherries are my favorite. And that's kind of what it smells like. A little bit of pistachio in the nose. And it's coming off more and as an actual nutty pistachio, as the flavor you would get in pistachio ice cream or pudding. It kind of has the nuttiness in there. It smells like dessert though. Yeah, now the pistachios kind of opening up, and because this is basically a sour or a tart beer or whatever you want to call it, because a lot of these aren't sour. Sometimes they're even hard pressed to be tart. I'm getting more of like a banana, or I'm sorry, I was gonna say banana pudding, a pistachio pudding. But is there pistachio? I don't think I've ever had pistachio yogurt. That would be something interesting. If you combine like yogurt with pistachio pudding, that's kind of what I'm getting. It's interesting. Anyway, yeah, it smells pretty good. It smells like Spumoni to some degree, but not exactly. But yeah, let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. And thanks to everybody on Untapped who said this was delicious because you inspired me to grab this one. It's fucking delicious. For what these beers are, smoothie style, Sundae Sour style, heavy fruit puree, sweeter. If you tell me this is Spumoni Sundae kind of beer, You hit it. You hit the nail on the head. After 2 sips, I have only one issue with this beer. I would like a little bit more of a firm tartness approaching sour, because this is just, it's tart. There's a tartness. There's a touch of acidity on the back of throat, touch of tartness on the palate, but I would want this to be more full-on tart. But I kind of knew, because it's Sundae Sour and they're going crazy, chocolate ice cream, this and that, I figured it wouldn't be as tart or sour, and it's not. And that's the only disappointment here, but the flavors are immaculate. As I said, you know, all the fruit puree, pectin, everything inside. So the beer is pretty much full-bodied. It's thick. It's syrupy. It's kind of like a melted down ice cream. Maybe not as thick, but close. The mouthfeel itself, super smooth and creamy. Kind of like an ice cream. Kind of like a melted down ice cream. So for what they're probably going for, they nail it. The taste, it's Spumoni, but I would say on the palate, maybe this has something to do with age. In order, I would go cherry, pistachio, and chocolate. In the nose, I was getting basically chocolate, pistachio, and cherry. I like that the cherry has kind of jumped to the forefront in the taste, because this has nice, sweet black cherry, and like I said, almost like black raspberry ice cream kind of feel. That hits me right at the front. Then the pistachio, like a slight nuttiness, but more of like pistachio ice cream flavor, pistachio pudding. And then midway through, there's a nice fudgy, syrupy chocolate. On the second half of the palate, that's where the tartness kind of sticks its head in, and is like, hey, this is, remember, a Sundae Sour. And it finishes with a somewhat dry finish, slightly dry, we'll say. No bitterness. Does this lean sweet? Yes. Is this cloying? Am I going to be able to drink this entire can that's probably like 700 calories? Yes. You know why? I think there's enough of a kind of, I don't want to use the word balance, but there's enough of like a complexity to all the as they call them, gimmicks in this beer, where the cherry, like the black cherry I'm getting, is tart at the forefront. So there's tartness there, and then there's some more tartness on the back. And then you get the pistachio, which brings something completely different, a little bit of nuttiness, and then you get the sweetness from the chocolate. I don't think it's too sweet. Is this sweet? Yes, it's a fucking Sundae Sour. It has those adjuncts in it. It's going to be sweet. I knew this would be sweet going into it. If you buy this, you should know it's sweet. But there's some beers lately that I've had after like 2 sips, I'm like, I just can't do it. It's just too rich. This is not too rich. Also, 7.2%. Can't even feel it. A lot of people say this because there's not 7.2% ABV in here. Who might argue? Maybe there is, maybe it isn't. But all I know is, for what they're saying, is 7.2% Sundae Sour that's supposed to have flavors Spumoni. They've come damn close to nailing it. And I'm really happy about this one. I'm glad people, were saying how delicious this is, because it is. So, Chonk Spumoni, the Spumoni variant from Drekker, their Sundae Sour. They have a bunch of different chonks at this point. I know they have peanut butter and jelly ones, and this and that and the other. I'm going to pick them up at some point, but I just felt that this one would kind of speak to me, and it does. So I'm going to give this beer right here a low 4.75 out of 5 and go 4.7. I think it deserves it. To get up until like a 5 or like a 4.8 or a 4.9, there needs to be more tartness here. There needs to be more tartness. Plus, I just love the labels of Drekker. Their labels are awesome. I just need more tartness from something that's calling itself a Sundae Sour. If it said Sundae Tart Ale, or sorry, Sundae Tart, I'd be more inclined to say, okay. But still, even so, even if it said Sundae Tart, I still need a little bit more of a tart/sour base to kind of let me know that I am drinking a sour, that there is an actual base to this beer. And I will say this, you'll see this probably like a week after I posted the Brewsicle Mango Fire from the Brewery. What I liked about that beer is their base beer is a barrel-aged like wild ale. Like it's not kettle soured. And you could tell that the base beer had complexities to it. It had a character. And a lot of these kettle sours, you don't really get that a lot of the times. So I would love to see more of like a complexity to the base beer to kind of break up all the adjuncts to some degree. And that's where I think a lot of these lose some people, because it's just like the adjuncts and there's not really a base beer. And that's why a lot of people say, hey, just do seltzers. Makes sense. Anyway, this is going to be a long review, but this is a fucking great beer. 4.7. Great beer. Great beer. 4.7 out of 5. Price and availability, I think I paid $7 for that can. Typically if you are going to a brewery locally, these usually, like, things like this usually run like anywhere between like $22 to $25 for 4-pack. If they start getting distro, whether you're Drekker or Mortalis or Froth or 450 North, or just a bunch of the Skygazer and this place and that. There's a bunch of these now on the market. Typically, you're paying anywhere from like $6 to $8 a can, unless you're 450 North and you think your shit's like 2 times as good as everyone else's. I do have a 450 North beer I will be reviewing, and the price points are just insane in my area. It's just stupid. But yeah, these are typically like $6 to $8 depending on where you go. I paid $7 for that can. I really can't complain. So availability, Drekker gets distro in like a bunch of states now. A lot of my beer tubing friends can get your hands on them, whether or not you want to because you like the style or you don't. It's up to you. But like for this beer, if you see this beer hanging out in the next month or two, give it a go. Everything is still here. These beers can last. Yes, some of the adjuncts might fall off over time, but a lot of these beers last. I've had them 6 months, 8 months, a year old, and they're still pretty damn delicious. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one before, post in the comment section. Thanks to all of my Untapped friends and a couple of my real life friends. It's kind of stupid to say that, but in-person friends, I guess is the easiest way to say it, for recommending this one to me or giving me the inspiration to pick it up, because it is fucking delicious. To the next one. Cheers.